Welcome. So, hello everyone. Welcome back to my channel. It is Living with Lee, of course. And as you can tell by today's title, today we're going to be talking about some things that I wish people told me before I started content creating, but things I also have learned along the way. 2023 was the year that, let me backtrack. So I started taking content creation seriously in 2022. I would say like May or June, and it really picked up and became something that I was fully invested in 2023. Now we're in December. 2023 is almost over, and I just feel like it is the perfect time to reflect, time to see things I've learned, things that I could be doing differently, and just see how I can show up as my best self in 2024. And now there's a lot of things that I've learned that I think would be good for other people to hear as well. Because if I would have heard these things when I first started out in 2022, I think I wouldn't have had so many like mental blocks. Also, I got my hair done. Kind of like a freestyle stitch braid feel. It's giving not a bob, but not bra strength lap. Bra strength lap. I can't even speak. Bra strap length. But it's cute. I like it because I'm going on vacation. I'm going on vacation soon. And my vlog for prepping for that and kind of like the whole trip, like I'm going to make content for that. You guys already know that I can't leave you out of that. So expect that early 2024. But I feel like I kind of am like doing mad roundabout talking in the intro. I don't know. But back to the topic at hand. Let me open up the notes app. Hold on. So let's go ahead and get started. The first thing that I have on the list is define consistency and stick with it. What I mean by this is that one of the first things that people tell aspiring content creators and influencers is to be consistent. What does that mean? What does that look like? Now, the answer to that is it depends. It's different for everyone. I've seen people on social media where their version of consistency is posting 3 to 5 times every single day. And for certain niches or certain like categories, that works very easily. But for other niches, that can very quickly lead to burnout, not to mention some people's schedules simply just don't permit for that to happen. And other people's consistency simply just looks like showing up and posting 3 high quality, very intentional videos every week. So consistency ranges. There's not a one size fits all for that. Find out how you personally want to define consistency and stick with it. If you think that you can record and post 3 to 5 times every single day, 7 days a week, by all means, go ahead. More power to you. For me, I know that's something that I can't commit to. I know that I have multiple jobs outside of content creation. I know that I'm a full-time student. I know that I have an internship. I know I have a million different other things. I know that simply is just not realistic for me. And it is going to be very easy to feel like you're letting yourself down if you set this level of quote unquote consistency that wasn't realistic to begin with. I'm not saying don't shoot for the stars. Okay? That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is just be mindful of the things that you already have in your life going on so you can guarantee basically that you're setting yourself up for success. Now, this kind of goes into the second point of just figure out your flow. Everyone's life looks so much different. Even if you have 2 people who are students, even at the same university, their schedules can look completely different. Do they stay on campus? Are they a commuter? Do they have a job? Do they have multiple jobs? Are they a part of clubs? Are they a student athlete? Do they have family matters that need to be taken care of? Do they live alone? That's only scratching the surface of the different aspects that can be taken into account when considering the different characteristics that can be making up a person's schedule. When you're on social media, you could see someone could say, oh, like day in the life, for example, day in the life of someone at Columbia. You'd be like, oh my gosh, they're fitting so much into their schedule. We're both students at Columbia. Why can't I do that? And then it starts the spiral of, am I not taking enough time out of my day to perfect my craft? Am I not taking this seriously? Am I meant to do this? It starts this spiral of a negative thought when really you just need to take a step back and be like, what time constraints do I have that they might not have? Do they have resources or extra help that allows them extra time in the day to film a video, to do all of the quote unquote fun things or extracurricular things that you might not have the time to do. That is completely okay. Find your flow. Find your flow and just flow with it. Okay, I feel like each point I'm going to bring up is going to build upon the one prior to it. For lesson number 3, don't try to do what everyone else does. For one, it connects back to points 1 and 2. Everyone is different, no matter how much overlap there could be. But also, people on social media follow you and interact with you because they care about you. They don't want to see a Jim Bob replica every time they scroll down their For You page. Replica 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They don't want to see that. They're here to see you. Now, that's not to say that if you see a trend going on that you really like that you want to make your own version of, or like a kind of like aesthetic that is really appealing to you and that you feel like really captures like the type of person that you are, not the same thing. But I'm saying, like, I'm just going to use the Columbia student example. If you see someone who's a Columbia student and you're like, they only make day in their lives and they don't venture into hauls or tutorials or anything like that, they just do day in my life, and that's what works for them. And because I'm also a Columbia student, that must be what's going to work for me. So I'm going to do exactly what they do. And then you're confused when you're not seeing the same results. One, they don't want to see a duplicate of what they're already following. So they don't want to see someone that's not being themselves. I understand the fake it till you make it attitude. Completely understand it. But you have to remember the until you make it part. And also, faking it means faking having confidence and believing in yourself and kind of holding your head high even if the confidence might be low, and kind of training yourself to have these positive thoughts rather than being someone that you're not in hopes that people will then accept you and then having to keep up this persona because now that's what people expect of you. See the difference? Because I do. And of course, this piggybacks onto lesson number 4. Comparison is literally the thief of joy. Let me say that again for the people in the back. Comparison is the thief of joy. That's literally all there is to it. If you spend all of your time comparing your life, what you have, what you do to others, whether they're in similar situations or in situations that you wish to be in, if you spend all your time comparing, you are never going to be able to live in the moment and enjoy what you have. Now, I preach this so hard because this is something that I really struggled with in the beginning of the year, and something that I had to continue to work on throughout the rest of 2023 to be in this position now. For example, I could get PR from a brand. I could be on top of the moon. It could be a brand that I really enjoy, that I've really wanted PR from. I could be excited about it. I can make content about it. The content could do well. But then I could turn around and I can see Sally Moe got PR from another brand that I want. And me being like, okay, that excitement is now, I'm taking that away from myself because now I want what they want. You see how that sounded like it didn't make sense? Because it doesn't. There's a lot of different layers to this topic. For one, it goes into living in the moment, enjoying and cherishing what you have, because 9 times out of 10, someone's also looking at you and doing the same thing, forgetting all of the good things that they have and being proud of where they are in the moment, and they're focused on what you have instead. Just saying. But then also, like, it just discredits the work that you do. You literally train yourself with this mindset to say, okay, I might have done good, I might have accomplished something, but now someone else is accomplishing something else that I want. So what I just did automatically means nothing. What? Literally, what? You would honestly be surprised at how many people are so quick to look at the next person and be like, I want what they have, and literally forget about all of the greatness that's in front of them. This leads into point number 5. Celebrate the little wins. It's similar to the first point that I made in terms of it can be getting yourself a cake. It can be buying yourself something nice. It can be celebrating yourself on social media. It almost acts as like positive reinforcement for one, and 2, you deserve to be celebrated. I'm personally a big believer in that, like, no win is too small of a win to celebrate. I believe everything deserves to be celebrated because especially when you get to the top, all of those small wins are what got you there. If you didn't acknowledge them, celebrate them, and use them to continue to grow, you would never be at the top. Lesson 6, which again Surprise, surprise, piggybacks. Everyone is running their own race at their own pace. Bars. Again, it ties directly into comparison being the thief of joy. While social media, it can seem like you know all of the details and every single thing that someone's doing, all of the details and all of the work that they've put in. 9 times out of 10, you're not going to know the whole story. You have no idea how long they've been working on something behind the scenes. You have no idea who they've collaborated with, the researching that they've done, the time they've put in. You don't really know. You might have an idea, you might have an educated guess, but you don't know for a fact. Say you're using like a trending audio that everyone's using to do day in my life vlogs, and you're following a mutual, and say their vlog hits 10,000 views. Let's just throw out a number, and you do the same thing, and yours only gets 1,000, gets a fraction, and you're like, what am I doing wrong? We have similar followers. Now they're getting a bunch of followers from this. Why is this? It doesn't make sense. That's kind of the point of the algorithm. I know. I hate it. You hate it. Everyone hates it. And sometimes the algorithm really just does what it wants. You won't be able to pinpoint what it is about your mutual's video or your friend's video or even a stranger's video that made the algorithm push it out to more people. But sometimes that's just how the cookie crumbles. Or maybe that person used more accurate SEO than you. Maybe that person posted at a better time than you. Maybe that person shared it on other social media platforms, asking their followers to engage, which then put it on the algorithm's radar of like, hey, look at this video that people are interacting with. Push it to more people. You have no idea what was done to have that person's post receive the success that it did. Again, tying back to the main lesson at hand, you can wake up and that can be you tomorrow. Then you're going to have another Sally Mo looking at your page like, how is this happening to her and not to me? It's literally everything. Do you guys see how the intersectionality is there? How everything's intertwined, everything is connected? Yeah. I think the last lesson, so lesson 7, I believe, acknowledge the fear and then do it anyways. I feel like fear is the number one thing that stops people from not just pursuing content creation and social media, but from pursuing their dreams as a whole. What that fear stems from, it varies. It can be fear of being perceived. It can be fear of failure. It can be a bunch of different things, but fear is the main emotion behind it. Now, I don't want to say I've always been this type of person because I haven't. It took a lot of restructuring thought-wise. It took a lot of therapy, okay? It took a lot of effort on my end to look at the situation in the way of which if you don't try, you will never know, ever. All you can do is assume what could have happened. And then, at the same time, get to see everyone who didn't let the fear stop them accomplish what you could have if you didn't let the fear stop you. And in my opinion, I think that's worse than possibly experiencing the failure itself. Just saying. When people say, oh, like, don't let the fear stop you, no one's really paying attention anyways. I agree, but not in the sense of no one's paying attention, so just throw whatever out on social media and hope it sticks. I mean it in the way of, oh, maybe you started on your words there. Are people going to think, like, the joke I made is funny? Like, maybe I wasn't witty there? Like, people don't really think that deeply as much as we inside believe that they do. Everyone's so concerned about how they're being perceived that they really don't have the time to do the in-depth perceiving that we think that they're doing. And that's just the truth. And honestly, to me, if you go out and you don't let fear stop you and you do whatever and you try to chase your dreams, in this case, social media content creation, and people belittle you, make fun of you, put you down, not only one, are those people that you don't want in your corner. So I'm hoping that those weren't your friends or your family or anyone that you think is on your side, because they're not. But 2, it goes to show that now they're upset with you because they still let their fear stop them from doing what they want to do. And they're mad because now they have one less person to stand with them ridden in fear. Let that cook. Let them cook. Let them cook. Let it cook. Misery enjoys company. And I find that to be true when it comes to fear-ridden mindsets. Now, this is different than anxiety. Don't think I'm getting the two confused, because I'm not. But what I'm saying is people who intentionally want those around them to live in fear and not progress and not grow. Because the emotion and the diagnosis of anxiety, those are two completely different things. Completely different. So that's not applicable here. I know I just said lesson 7 would be the last one, but I'm going to leave on lesson 8. Just be yourself. Be true to yourself. I know everyone says it, but it really is true. At the end of the day, the one thing that you'll always have is how you choose to walk and show up in this world. And I feel like you should do whatever you can to make sure that if you were to look at it from an outside perspective, or if you were to look back on it in like a Reels clip, that you would be not necessarily proud of how you showed up based on accolades and accomplishments, but happy, satisfied, fulfilled, because you know that you showed up as your true self, as your true being, as your whole self. And no one can take that away from you. People can downplay accomplishments, people can downplay growth. Not saying that they're right when they do it, but they try. But no one can really downplay or take away the fact that you're you, and unapologetically so. So always show up as yourself. And that's that on that. Those are just the things that I really learned in 2023 when, really taking content creation seriously, and things that I really wish that someone told me beforehand. But now that I can walk through life with this knowledge and this type of insight, I'm very, very excited for what 2024 has in store, and just all of the ideas I have brewing. I'm really, really excited. Not only for me, but also for my mutuals, for my friends, for people that I interact with on social media. 2024 is just going to be that year. I feel it. I really do. And I hope you feel it too, because it's going to be our year. Okay? Our year. But yeah, if you guys have watched all the way through, thank you guys so much for watching, sticking through, and listening to the lessons that I've learned. And hopefully you guys have some takeaways that really stick with you in 2024 and beyond. And yeah, I think that's all for me. I will see you guys in the next video, and yeah, bye.